Hello, my friends. I am Che Guevara, and I have come to say I am now a marketing tool. And welcome to the Generic Lakishu podcast. Today, I am joined by Raj, John, and Marquez.
Hello.
So, what's been going on? John has the Rona.
Yeah, I'm sick.
As per usual.
I've been
I
sick
don't know
for like
if
the
you
past
actually
3
have the
days.
Rona, but hopefully you don't.
I
Have
really
you gotten a
don't.
test yet?
What's up?
Have you gotten a test yet?
I really should get one.
Yeah.
Why haven't you?
I just never really thought about it. I mean, no, I take that back. I did, but then I just never did the final decision of actually getting it.
That is so classic, John. It kind of hurts.
I mean, it would be cool if you do have it in a way,
Oh my
because
god.
then you'll be done with
What?
it for a bit, you know?
Yeah.
If it stays this mild, you know?
That's true.
If it stays this mild, it'll be kind of nice.
I mean, like, there's a scale, right? Like, I'm not going crazy, right? Of like how bad you can get the COVID.
No, you're going crazy. It's there's no scale. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's just you get and you die.
Everyone dies.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a
of the
100%
time.
fatality rate. Yes.
Yeah. Haven't you seen the news?
For the record, there is not a 100% fatality rate.
No.
Before somebody
the
thinks we're
figures-
trying to go crazy on it.
I'm absolutely going crazy. I don't know what.
Oh, I'm probably losing my mind too, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Oh,
Got that big C.
Yes.
Not cancer, but the Rona.
Yes.
The big Rona.
The other C.
Yep. The new C.
Not chlamydia. The other C.
Dude, whenever you see someone cough in a TV show and there's like no explanation for it right away, it's like, oh, they have the big C.
It's the Roni.
They got cancer.
Honestly, I do double take a little bit when somebody coughs when I'm at work. Like, it's actually like
Oh,
it creates like an element of paranoia sometimes.
that is something you need no help with, John. You're already a paranoid bastard.
You're always concerned about how breachable your houses are.
This is a
Yes,
very
he
important
is.
thing about purchasing a house. I don't understand why not everybody does this.
John, no one is going
I'm
to breach
kinda with you, though.
the apartment.
I'm kind of
No
with
one
you.
is
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
breach
See,
the
Marcus is
apartment
with me, Raj.
The middle of Iowa.
I've played Rainbow Six Siege.
Yes,
I understand.
this is important.
Look, John. A, no one's gonna breach your house apartment in the middle of Iowa. And two, if a person actually wanted to breach it, I'm sure they would be able to do it. Regardless of how
Iowa's
unbreachable or
American proud.
breachable.
First of
The
all,
commies come here first to take away our rights.
take our rights.
We'll fight them off. I don't even know what an Iowegian accent would be, to be honest. Not that, I bet.
Probably just what you got, right?
Yeah, I suppose. They're not that far away, are they? I think of them as like a southern state, even though they're super not.
We straight up border them.
The deep south. Iowa.
Iowa.
Do you know what is weird for me to think about though?
What?
South of Iowa is Missouri.
Yeah, now you're getting into the
That
south.
actually does make my head scratch a little bit. I'm like, wait, it's that close?
How?
I mean, you mean that close? It's like 500 miles away.
This stuff is close.
Is Iowa?
Yeah, this is 600 miles. That's a good way.
Or like when I hear deep south, I'm thinking like Mars or something, you know?
Look, John, if you go 300 or 600 miles north, you're in like the middle of the tundra.
That's true. But anyway, yeah, I'm just trying not to have a coughing fit right now. But that's basically my life right now.
While he
Oh.
thinks about being breached in his house.
Every day, bro. Yeah,
What's the news recently?
the news.
Anyone have anything?
I mean, there's always the Trump stuff, but I don't think you guys want to talk about that.
No, absolutely not.
Like, that's...
It's a way. Look, there are other people in this group who like discussing meaningless local politics
local politics.
and national politics, and I don't care.
I think I like...
So done, I
Ugh.
don't care. I don't
You
wanna
get like
do
so
it.
much of that at college, I bet.
Yeah, you do. Honestly, like, I still remember the protest outside of campus.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
You get some very interesting speakers though. Like there was the actual like Marxist who John actually saw this, not me. So this is a John story. John should tell.
I don't want to know, I'm dying.
Go for it. John.
So,
I'm giving it to you.
during, I think it was midterms, if I remember correctly, there were a lot of these, because, like, people like Stephen King, which was, the like Iowan representative. I think it's a local representative in Iowa. He was
Stephen King?
Steve. What's his name? Steve King, right?
It's something. It's Iowan Republican.
Yeah, Steve King or something like that. But anyway, the only thing I know about him is that he spent like money from like a Holocaust Remembers organization to visit Austria, and then like hanged out with neo-Nazis or something like that.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
like
Beautiful.
so like sketchy or like notorious that the Republicans kind of distanced themselves from him or something. Anyway, he was running for his like midterm or re-election or whatever. So there was a lot of rallies happening by the library, and there was like all these speeches. They whipped out the megaphone, they had the signs and everything. They were like throwing pamphlets at me and making me sign clipboards just to stand there. And then they're like, "Oh, I hate Donald Trump, blah blah blah. I hate Stephen King." All the normal stuff, right? Then all of a sudden, this one dude comes up with like really really long hair, these big sunglasses, and just goes, "Hi, how's everyone doing? I too hate Donald Trump, but I believe that this is only the first step. That we need to take this momentum and energy we have to unionize and collectivize our power as people, and
As the
rally
working
the
class, I
workers
think.
together, like as a working class, and like overthrow
Ah.
and keep pushing this energy forward." Like he said something like that.
We must seize the means of production.
And I was just like, "Oh man, this is some pretty nice energy coming from this guy."
It's classic Marxist rhetoric. Beautiful. Yeah. Fun fact: I'm pretty sure that Iowan Republican guy, I'm pretty sure he won again.
If
He
I
won
remember
re-election.
correctly, he did. Yes.
Yes,
Oh, dang.
I'm remembering correctly. Yes, he
What's up,
won
Iowa?
re-election.
You okay there?
I think that's Peter's representative too.
Yeah.
You okay there, Iowa? Doing alright? That's like re-electing the guy that Borat got to chase him around with his butt.
I mean, I'd really like that guy.
I mean, that was pretty amusing.
Man's a champion.
I guess maybe that's the mentality that caused Steve King to be reelected.
MMA, mixed martial arts and ass.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Raz, you still grading?
No, I actually finished for
Oh,
today.
nice.
I
Whoa.
graded 10 papers and finished it.
I don't know if we ever brought
Popping
up
off, dude.
grading yet on the podcast, but currently Raj is doing his like little master's program and is TAing in U of M.
It's
Wow.
it's a PhD program.
Oh, it's
Little
a PhD
master's program.
Oh,
You
I'm
call
sorry.
it little.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
he's
fucking
over
know, dude. I'm not trying to
he's
shit on
over there
anybody
just-
right now. Dude, I'm
He's
fucking
over there
stuck
just
at home.
plugging away at
I'm
his
not
little
shitting on anybody.
His puny little master's
No,
program.
no.
I am getting a master's degree, but that's along with
Yeah,
my
it's
PhD.
like you're like locked into a PhD program, right? I see.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
my bad.
So I'm getting statistics along with my PhD.
But yeah, he's grading a shit ton of tests right now. Like literally, like every.
No, I finished the
Oh,
test. I finished the test last
I know,
week.
but like, basically, whenever I'm
Now
hanging
it's,
out with you, half the time you're grading tests and ranting about it.
Well, it's not tests. It's homework that I'm grading because I'm the grader for class. So like, I get to grade all of their fun assignments, and it's intro stats for psych students. So sometimes you can get some interesting answers.
To say the
I'm
least.
glad I never. I'm glad I
putting it
never
that
needed
way.
to grade tests when I was TAing.
That is the worst thing ever.
Tests.
Grading tests is so bad.
Well, then you really don't want to fuck up too. Like with homework, if you fuck up, it doesn't matter that much. Like a little bit.
I'm just
but-
really nice with homework. Like it's just like, this is like kinda right, or if it's mostly right. If it's like, it's pretty good enough for me. If it's a test, it's like, nah, dude, you screwed it up. This is a test.
And with homework, most times the students won't come talk to you about it. If you
Yeah.
accidentally take an extra point off, students like, fuck it, homework. I don't care.
Yeah. I actually do have a student coming to talk to me at some point about her tests. I don't know when, because she hasn't emailed me yet. So we'll
Just-
find out.
Be like some of my professors were, and be like, no partial credit.
Okay,
Even-
then my advisor will be very annoyed with me.
All you do is forget to carry around and carry a 1, and all your core concepts are perfect, and flawlessly understood, 0 points. Get the hell out of here. If it wouldn't have worked in the real world, you don't get points here.
Well, that it turns out, the professor I'm under right now is also my advisor. I don't think she would be very happy with me if I did that.
Started ripping points out of people.
Yeah, I don't think she would be very happy with me. It's already stressful enough going, all right, I just gave a student like a 60.
There were 2 grading
God.
philosophies in my department. Both of them were born out of pure laziness. The first one was previously mentioned, the no partial credit approach, where basically you just give everybody 0 for everything because you don't care. You don't want to like judge the mistakes based on like how related they were to the concepts. So you just 0 the person out. The other philosophy was just to make the tests unbelievably easy, so then everyone got 100%. So you didn't need to worry about it.
Incredible.
Okay, see, I realize this is bad. I realize that's awful grading strategies, but actually grading and doing this stuff makes me a little more sympathetic to those professors. Just because I know the pain of grading. Grading is awful. For anyone who has to do it, I very much sympathize with you. It's awful.
You're salaried too. I was paid hourly when I graded, so I didn't even care.
I mean, technically, but like, I work a lot less hours than they pay me for, so I don't really care.
You work 80 hours a week just on the
Yes.
grading alone.
Yes. Just on grading alone, I need to make sure it's perfect.
Yep. Flawless
And
grading.
if my advisor is listening to this, yes, I work 90 hours a week. My nose to the grindstone, always.
Of course. Now you
This
gotta.
is my one break for the entire week. I take my time to do this podcast. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
he
all I get
doesn't
for a
game
week.
at all. No.
Nope,
What
never.
even
Well, what's
is
the
a
point of
video
gaming?
game?
That's just a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, really.
Exactly.
What kind of person would spend like half of their entire day playing video games?
Yes, what person would wake up on a Friday, not go to class on a Friday, post up with their computer at the island, game, and then game until Sunday?
Yeah, who would do that?
Who would do that,
Yeah.
John?
No.
Who would
Definitely
do
not
that?
me.
John was, of course, playing a historical simulator that accurately represents items that happen throughout history. Very clearly.
There was a lot of things that were very inaccurate about what
While
was going
skipping
on
my
in his
history
game.
class.
While
see,
skipping his history
that's
class.
the real magic of that game, is that it allows you to explore alternate possibilities that could have happened
Yeah.
in your history.
Yeah.
You know, it provokes more thought
Mhm.
while you're approaching the historical
Yeah,
reference.
it's totally
I mean,
not
really.
just a wank for people who want certain historical things to have happened.
Of course
Totally
not.
not.
No.
No. This is
No,
all
of course
for
not.
very authentic historical experimentation.
Exactly. I mean, in-depth
You're both full of
simulation.
shit.
Which game is that again? I always forget. Because there's like
There's
2.
3 of them.
Oh my
There's
god.
3, but
there are 2.
the 2
There's-
that I predominantly played, especially during college, was Europa Universalis 4 and Hoi 4. Hearts of Iron 4. I apologize. Yes, I abbreviated on accident.
He also played a little bit of Crusader Kings.
I did,
2.
but nowhere near as much as the other 2.
Yes. And now he spends all of his time playing the New World Order.
Yes, which is a mod.
Are the first 2 both World War games?
Only one of them is specifically focused to the late years prior to World War II, and then kind of like I think it basically ends at around 48. There's not really much to do left in the game without mods by 48 or like 47.
Gotcha.
While Europa is 1444 all the way to 1821.
1444. So War of the Roses.
War of Roses,
1841.
Renaissance, late stages of the
Yeah.
100 Years' War, Rise of the Ottoman Empire, stuff like that, and then 1821 French Revolution, stuff like that.
Guillotine.
God bless Robespierre.
Your heads will be removed from your shoulders.
Chop chop, boys.
What happened to Robespierre? Oh, we guillotined him too.
They guillotined a
Give
lot
him
of
the
people.
G.
What wasn't he our guillotiner? Yes, he was a traitor and a
Well,
scoundrel.
do you remember what he did or no?
I remembered he beheaded the king of France and Marie Antoinette. I forget which king though. It was like
Louis the
Charles
16th.
the second. Louis.
Charles is a different king that got beheaded. In England, Charles I was beheaded. So you somehow got a different monarch in Europe that got beheaded.
This is how much I know history. Clearly.
Whenever I hear Marie Antoinette, I think of Don't Stop Me Now.
Don't stop me.
What was it?
Having a good time. Having
A good time.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
course.
as she's getting chopped in half.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
got her head cut off, telling peasants to eat cake.
You
Honestly,
you timed the
that'd be a
whoa,
pretty
whoa,
dope
explode
meme.
to getting to the moment she gets beheaded.
Isn't there a movie that takes place that like shows her getting murked?
Oh, there's gotta be so many.
There's gotta be
There's
a movie.
gotta be many.
Wait,
People should meme the shit out of that.
oh, they do, don't they?
with Queen's song. Has it been done? Oh
I
shit.
feel, at least in history memes, I once in a while see Mary Antoinette get memed.
Yeah, I gotta imagine someone's already done the Queen thing.
No.
Just too easy. Too easy.
But anyway, back to Robespierre. His party voted to behead Louis XVI by one vote. And then the reason why Robespierre got beheaded is he did the Chad move of walking into the legislature. This is like deep into the Reign of Terror when they were just murking people. He walked straight into the legislature, full of his own party, and said this: "I have a list, guys, and it's full of goddamn traitors that are in this legislature, and I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but I'm gonna start chopping heads." And then the guys were just like, so you're not gonna tell us? No. Okay, well then we're gonna chop your head."
Yeah, that strategy is not good for long.
That's essentially what he
success,
did.
I'd say.
Look, the guy was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to
He
put
wanted
it. The
to
guy was
destroy
crazy.
like Christianity and replace it with something called the Cult of Reason.
I feel like not many rulers that have taken that approach have made it to a natural death. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
There's got to be a couple though.
There's got to be a couple, but Richard III, nope. Domitian.
Richard III
He
was
didn't
such a
do that
Chad.
as much. Who was?
Richard III was such a Chad.
Richard III.
Literally just shoves the
OG.
legitimate kings into a prison and then just says, "Okay, I'm king now, guys."
And everyone was like, well, I guess can't argue with that logic.
I remember what Domitian did. What did he do?
Domitian? He didn't start doing the treason trials again until like after there's a revolution almost happened. But it got put down really quick. But he was the one after Titus. And Titus was Vespasian. Domitian was one of Vespasian's sons. He was the last of the Flavians.
I got you.
Yeah. I just got past him.
No, you're making some real good distance.
Dude, I'm slapping. I'm listening probably
If
to an
anyone
average
else
of one a day.
You're past the Jewish revolt.
Is feeling. If anyone listening is also feeling confused by this conversation, don't worry. I empathize with you. I'm right there with you every time these two talk.
Marcus is.
Don't understand.
I have no idea what they're talking
Go
about.
listen to the History of Rome podcast.
It's
It's
fucking
fantastic. Like, it's probably the best history podcast that I've heard. Very engaging. He makes it a lot of fun. Pretty dry humor if you're into that sort of thing. Yeah, and just overall very good summary of Roman history.
And to transition off of that, like the dude also has a podcast on revolutions, the French Revolution and stuff like that, and the English Civil War. He has a big one on the Russian Revolution. So like
Oh,
whenever you know somebody that's about the fittest to Rome history podcast, for example, you can always recommend them that too.
is that one still ongoing?
Yeah,
Is that-
he's still going
is he
on
still
that.
doing that project? Nice. I know in his 93rd episode, his 93rd episode was his 100th, where he just kind of did like an overview. And he said that he was possibly going to do just a general American history podcast in the future as well.
That's going to be a scary podcast.
Right?
He probably transitioned that into the Revolutions podcast because he talks about the American Revolution in that podcast.
That'd be kind of cool if he did the Revolutions podcast and then had that nice carryover with lots of continuity.
Oh yeah, I used to follow that Revolutions podcast really well. It's been honestly so long since I saw the heard the Roman History podcast that I really should re-listen to it. But you talking about like Titus is like bringing back all the stuff right now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm obviously not going to remember all of the stuff that I've learned from the podcast.
Okay, so just for anyone listening, who is Titus? What are you guys talking about?
Titus, he was a very successful emperor for about 2 years until he died at 40-something of natural causes. But he came after Vespasian, which was the first of the Flavian dynasty, who took over after the year of the 4 kings. And he ruled for a decade and basically brought the empire back from an entire year of civil war where they went through 4 emperors, as you can tell by the name. Just lots of civil war. Yeah, lots of civil war. Horrible economic state because the emperor before the 4 kings was Nero, which, as you may know, wasn't the best governing body to have existed.
He wasn't the worst one, to be fair.
No, not even the worst one to date at the time. I would probably go to Caligula.
Yeah, it's hilarious to think, Marcus, that Caligula was followed right by Nero, and people thought that Nero was gonna be like some savior, and actually even more.
They had Claudius in between.
Oh, that's true. I'm thinking of what's his name? Oh shoot, It's it Tiberius? Is it Tiberius to Caligula that I'm thinking of?
Tiberius to Caligula. That's correct.
That's when they're thinking Caligula was gonna save the empire and get us away and back to an Augustan reign or something. And then they're like, oh man, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't get back to the Augustan level reign until Trajan, which I'm just getting to now, so I don't know.
What a Chad.
But we don't know much about Vespasian's reign either, because I forgot why, but a lot of the documentation from that period was lost.
It's a shame.
So we don't actually know much about Vespasian other than it was pretty good.
It's all John's fault.
Yes.
It was pretty good.
And to make it clear to anybody who's still confused, we're talking about Rome right now, because I don't think we ever brought that up.
We said History of Rome podcast.
That's true.
I feel like hopefully they would get it.
Plus you talked about Claudius and Augustus.
I mean, people might hear that and think freaking Elder Scrolls, for all I know.
That's fair.
Augustus was the OG amazing emperor of Rome.
First, yeah, Princeps.
Yeah.
First Princeps.
Yep, the Princeps of Rome.
He actually was the first emperor of Rome.
Yeah, I mean, he never used
that.
He
was. So I was
historically
actually right.
speaking, he's the first emperor of Rome, but he never called himself that.
No, he was the first citizen.
Yeah, first citizen, and then
I don't think he ever had the title Imperator.
He probably did.
Did he?
I mean, Imperator is just somebody who holds Imperium.
Maybe. Yeah, he probably.
It doesn't become the sacred emperor until I think I don't really.
Constantine.
I really couldn't tell you exactly, but the deification of the title of the emperorship or whatever you want to call it does happen over time, or maybe even quickly.
Yeah.
Down with the false corpse on his throne of lies.
The Julio-Claudians all ascended to godhood after death.
That's true.
In Roman eyes, at least.
Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.
And now we're just Warhammer.
Dude, I heard Imperium. I'm on it. I'm all about it.
Alright, Rosh, random quiz question. What does Imperium mean?
I have no idea. I would think it was just empire, but, probably not.
Well, if I remember correctly, it's the legal right to lead an army. If you hold Imperium, it means you're allowed to lead an army or something like that. And then
Well, the Imperium of Man is a very interestingly named.
Well, you can probably guess from how Imperator, which is probably where the name Emperor comes from, kind of transitioned to a different thing, so it's not really inaccurate. Like one
I
who
like
holds power.
one thing I really like about learning about Roman history is I'm also listening to the Game of Thrones books on audiobook, and just like the connections, and I'm learning about the War of the Roses right now too. And I think primarily Game of Thrones was inspired by the War of the Roses, but it definitely has a lot of Roman inspiration too.
If I remember correctly, George R. Martin was definitely like a history enthusiast, and like he took a lot of elements from like stuff you remember from history. But yeah, definitely wrote War of the Roses. Like, there's a cool YouTube video that I saw a long time ago that showed how many figures in Game of Thrones relate to ones in during the War of the Roses. Like, how many are just completely similar to each other from like what happened to
Mm-hmm.
them and stuff like that.
So if you're really hard on for those Game of Thrones books, which may or may not come out, you could always just learn about the War of the Roses. Is what I'm
But there's no
hearing.
dragons.
Okay, screw the dragons. They don't show up forever anyway.
Oh, they're there. It's the zombie apocalypse that isn't showing up yet.
They're like
Oh,
little
I'm
baby
sorry.
dragons for most of the books, though. You don't get like
Look, man, I
real
don't-
dragons. You get like lizards
Yeah.
the first few books.
They're like,
Look, I don't actually watch Game of Thrones. I have no idea what's happened in the show or movies, and honestly, I don't care to
honestly,
anymore.
Ross,
So
I really wish you would say something like, I'm sorry, I don't play Tetris. I really wish you just said something like that.
He plays the theme
I don't play
song.
Tetris. I'm
I
sorry.
don't
He
pl-
plays the theme song in his head
I don't
while
play
he
Crash
takes
Bandicoot.
AP exams.
I hate you for that, Marcus. I hate you for doing that. It was
What do you do,
awful.
sorry?
We were waiting outside for what, like a 3 or 4 hour AP exam,
Oh, God.
something crazy like that. And I started singing the Tetris theme song.
We both did. To be fair, we both started just singing it for a solid like 5 minutes. Then we went in, and it was just in my head for the entire time. Oh man,
Just entirely distracted.
I think it was the statistics one too, wasn't
It
it?
was.
Yeah, that's why I got a 3 on that exam.
Yes,
That's
all
the
on
reason.
Tetris.
Also because AP statistics is like not actually that great. Wasn't that great of a class.
No, it wasn't.
Like, I'm not talking about our teacher. Our teacher was actually pretty good. The class itself and like what we learned and what the AP board was testing was just like, you guys realize that this is not
We
what people
bestow
in statistics
upon
do.
you these sacred equations. Do not ask where they come from. Nobody knows.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think very few high school teachers would be able to derive those formulas and even be able to tell you where they come from.
No,
You legit
definitely
have to have a dude who has a master's degree to be able to go like, all right, this is actually where these come from. This is like why this is happening. This is the proofs to really understand.
Marcus, when you said that, I was imagining like a druid with a wooden stick and like a deer skull on his head and a robe while you were saying that.
That is
not.
teachers. That is teachers.
Might as well
That's
be.
them.
Do
That is
not
literally-
question the great authority of the goat. The goat knows all.
I'm sorry, did you question the goat? Just start whacking you with the stick.
Those were the
Look,
days.
the formula's right. How do you know the formula's right? Because some math people said it was. Are we sure that this is even math? I was told that this kinda is. That's about the high school teacher's knowledge of stats. Or most of them. We actually had a really good stats teacher for Marcus and I for the first half.
Yeah, he had pretty good like intuitional explanations for why
Yeah.
things worked. He didn't obviously
just-
go into the proofs, but he had like intuition that would help us.
Yeah, I mean, it was an intro. You never go into proofs for intro.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of like, here it is. The thing that I'm annoyed with that the school didn't do is that we should have been using like a program like our studio or like just some like basic statistics formula to do our stuff instead of a freaking TI-89 or TI-84 calculator. No one does that. It's so useless.
Yeah, it's kind of like sending us into geometry and being like, no calculators at all. what if you find yourself in a situation where you need to do this math and you don't have a calculator? Like,
I have a
maybe,
phone.
maybe someday. I can't think of a specific scenario that I would find myself in where that would be required, but maybe you're right. I'm willing to take the risk that that's never going to happen to me, though.
To be fair, I actually do like math classes that don't have calculators, that say we're not doing calculators here, because it actually forces the student to like memorize stuff and have stuff off the top of their head and like go through it and sort of thing. But on that token, you have to make sure that your test is readily accessible without a calculator.
That's
Like,
true.
you absolutely do not need a calculator to do that test. You need to make sure of that. Which is definitely not sometimes what happens. I've taken exams where it's like, oh, you don't need a calculator, and you look and go, I'm not solving this stupid integral without a calculator. Are you nuts?
In some classes, they would just like a calculator would just slow you down. Like I
Yeah,
was given a
that's true.
calculator for most of my Calc 3 exams, but
It's useless, yeah.
the math did not demand a calculator, and it
No.
like if you needed to resort to the calculator, you had done something wrong.
You were fucked. No, no need to mince words. You were screwed.
Because if you got a fraction that didn't resolve neatly by the end of the problem, you did a step wrong. Because that professor wrote his questions to just resolve super nicely. They were like elegant. I'm pretty sure that he actually started with the answer and worked the problem backward to the start.
Honestly, I could see professors doing that. But yeah. That'd be a nice way of going about it.
And that was also fun because there were times in his class that I was doing the test and I'd be like, this isn't looking right. And then I would look back and find my error in like previous steps because I'm like, he wouldn't do this.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then when you get into the real world, it's like, okay, we're going to be dealing with So when you get out of the classroom where they're like, no calculators, what happens if you get into a scenario where you can't use it, blah, blah, blah. You get into the real world where there are 0 nice numbers, nothing is nice.
And you need to graph things.
You have to use a calculator, and it's like mandatory. So, like, if you didn't have a calculator, you'd just literally look at that teacher and go, then you can't solve the problem. There's no way I would be able to do this without a calculator, so you can go screw yourself.
Well, and then they, like, don't really teach you. I guess some classes do teach you how to use, like, the calculation software. In my experience...
They do in college.
In my
there are
experience...
classes in college.
So, Calc 2 was my first math class that had a lab associated with it. And when I came in, they just handed me a packet of MATLAB commands and like a couple example problems to go through. And after the first day, they were like, now you've learned MATLAB and you can take it from here, and we're just going to assign you labs to do. I
never had a lab for all the calculus.
Really?
Yeah, I never did. I never had a lab for calculus.
It was useless, so don't feel too don't feel too left down.
I don't think I ever had a lab for any math class I ever took. Actually,
the only way to like really learn MATLAB is to get a project, and I don't mean like a lab project where it's like try and make this graph for no discernible reason. Like you need a data set that you actually want to manipulate to get it into a certain representation that will be helpful. And then you'll learn it. But
the only time I used MATLAB was in my partial differential equations course, where the teacher was kind of just like, okay, you need to learn use MATLAB to do it, have fun, and a lot of us, like, raised our hands and said, we don't know MATLAB. And then he went, all right, I will take 1 day of explaining some stuff, and for everything else, there's Google. You're college students, and you guys, half of you are graduate students. You can figure it out. That was that was MATLAB for me. I hated it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
It was not. He was a good professor, but he was honestly he didn't really teach undergraduates. He taught graduate students. So he was basically like a numerical methods dude, and he was like a physicist math guy where he would like do applied mathematics towards like physics stuff. So he was working with plasma, so really hot like stuff and modeling that sort of thing. So he like teaches undergrad every 3 or 4 years. And that was I got him for partial differential equations the one time in 3 years he was teaching an undergrad course.
My normal differential equations professor, that was the only undergrad course that he taught, and he taught it like a graduate level course. That sucked.
Did he bring up the epsilons and the deltas?
Yeah. He was basically just like, have fun.
That's so stupid. Yeah. Okay. For anyone listening, when you get to you take calculus, right? And you do that course, and you think it's really hard. Don't worry. That's the fun, easy stuff. Because that's whenever you take calculus from people and they tell you like, oh, this is what you're doing with an integral. This is kind of what a derivative is, or this is what a limit is.
Lies.
Most of the time, unless they're saying, all right, this is the actual definition, don't use it, don't worry about it, move on, they're most likely lying to you.
Lies.
And if you're a college professor, they know they're doing it because you'll get to a different class if you ever have to take it. That's called real analysis, which is proof-based calculus, and it's proving all that junk, and in which they go, all right, so this is what a limit actually is, and your brain just kind of explodes and goes, what the hell is this? And they always start off their proofs with, for all epsilon greater than 0, there exists a delta greater than 0, such that all this junk happens. So,
obviously. I mean,
yeah.
Physics is similar, where they lie to you in physics at the start.
Yeah.
But at least they tell you normally that they're lying to you. They'll like take an aside and be like,
they have to lie to you.
So this isn't strictly true, but
yeah,
it's a model that works for many applications. So this is what we're gonna go with for now.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's a reason why they do it this way, because if they taught you the real stuff off the bat, you would find a lot of people not passing calculus and a lot of people not becoming engineers, because that shit is hard.
And the lie works for the most part.
It does. So. It does work. Like, it's intuitive. It's like, oh, just think of it this way, and it's good enough. You don't need the rigorous definition to go into these random abstract cases and God knows where. Unless you're a PhD, then you do. Have fun. Or a mathematician. God help you if you study mathematics in college.
I feel like we have once again covered the education system.
We always get back here, bro.
The theme for
no.
us.
We haven't yelled about high school teachers yet. We haven't yelled about high school, middle school.
Oh, that's true. I think.
Oh, like K through 6 education teachers yet.
Oh man.
Which I will always rant about.
Anytime. I'm always in the mood.
That and Star Wars, bro.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Oh my god, don't get him in Star Wars. How dare you?
Why
did you do this?
So Benghazi, right?
Oh, damn it, I forgot my jacket in the car. Need to send a drone over there.
Oh man, I'm sorry guys. I
Barack
stumbled down
Obama
3 flights of stairs.
Barack Obama when he forgets his jacket. Need a drone. Need a drone to go get my jacket. Deploy the drones.
I'm like picturing a meme of that right now on like a what is this like Breitbart or something.
When in doubt, deploy the drones.
When in doubt, you forgot the You guys say like when in doubt. Deploy the drones.
I can't really do a good Obama. I always just sound stoned.
I mean, he does sound a little stoned.
That's because you are stoned, Marcus. You've always been.
Once in a while, he sounds
stoned.
stoned.
You right?
Once in a while, he's not stoned. Yes.
I can.
The one time he smoked weed, that was when he wasn't stoned.
Whoa. Honestly, like during high school, everyone thought I was a big stoner.
Yeah.
That's just because I didn't sleep enough.
That's also because you wore a trench coat every day.
Yeah, it's true. And
you gave off the vibe and hung out with a couple people that were stoners.
Yeah, I hung out with the stoners. The stoners were chill, man. They're cool.
And then you hung out with me.
I know.
Like who is very much not chill.
The opposite of a stoner and the opposite of chill.
Yes. I'm not chill. I wish I had chill.
You like
Marcus.
You only have chill when you're really tired. No, actually, no. You just get more angry as you get tired. Now that I think about it, you don't really chill.
I I get pretty fucking irritable when I'm tired, and then either that or I'm just a literal zombie.
Why we call you Raging Raj
I'm not always angry.
from League. I feel like your anger levels, your average angriness in life increases dramatically whenever you play League. Like
It absolutely does.
It's so extreme that it actually brings up your lifetime average of anger.
Well, considering it's a meme, if we're talking about a meme, then yes, it does. Because, that's how memes work.
Yeah, but like it's statistically significant.
Ah, that's what you're meaning. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
It doesn't just bring it
Okay.
up a little bit. Like if you saw it on a chart, it'd be like, whoa, this guy's average angriness just spiked. You broke your laptop. No, that's Dark Souls. Dark Souls
That
also
was
gets
Dark
under
Souls.
your skin, though.
And it was not even Dark Souls, it was one boss in Dark Souls 3. It was the Lothric Princes.
You whacked it.
Stupid
You whacked your computer and then broke.
Man. I'm like feeling for the laptop right now.
You should. It was
That's so sad.
I was so angry.
I'm trying to think if I've ever actually like destroyed something because of a video game. I've like yeeted my controller when I was a kid, trying to like fight certain bosses on like my PS1
Dude.
stuff.
Those
yeah.
those early console controllers were built
Oh
to
yeah,
take
they were.
punishment.
My GameCube
my
still
God.
works.
Like the
My
Xbox, the fucking Xbox One controllers are horrible in terms of durability. Like you break those without even trying. But I would yeet my Xbox One controller across the room, or my original Xbox controller across the room, pick it up perfectly fine.
Bro.
I wish my PS2 controller did that. I kind of busted mine.
Playing Kingdom Hearts,
Nah, I don't think it was Kingdom Hearts.
or is it Ace?
I think it was. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what game I did it for. Oh, well.
Alexa, that's so sad. Play Despacito.
I'm happy
That's
that
for my
meme's gone.
coworker. He'll hear that, I'm sure, if he listens to the end. Pretty sure he listens to these while he works. So he'll probably hear it.
Oh god.
He still does that meme. He has so many old memes.
He's like Ryan, man.
He's worse than me.
Oh my god.
Ryan still does the Uganda Knuckles meme.
Yes, he does.
Hey, that meme's a gem. All right. There's nothing wrong with that meme.
You must fight the queen.
The queen. Good God. All right, so I think that's actually about time.
Yeah, that's a good stopping point.
Yeah.
We didn't get to hear me rant about education, and we didn't get to hear me rant about
Thank
Jedi.
God. Oh crap,
missed
the mic's on.
I know. I forget the move one.
All right, so we got 5 minutes. Let's go through all the reasons why Jedi are awful.
No, it's not 5 minutes. He's lying to you.
It's not gonna be 5 minutes.
So we have 5 minutes.
Absolutely
5 hours
not.
later. All right.
As I bring up every freaking travesty that the Jedi have caused.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get to that next time.
No, we won't.
Never. We're never doing it.
All right.
It's
Thank you for
cringeworthy even for
listening
me.
to
It's
our
awful.
super chill podcast. I'm sorry that I'm dying right now. Hopefully, I don't have COVID.
We'll be 100% maybe next time, unless you have COVID, and then it will be like 4 weeks.
Well, maybe even John will be on next time.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe I'll be dead.
That's a big true.
Yeah, he could be dead.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day.
Bye.